The destruction of Jerusalem and captivity of Jews has a long and complex history, with multiple events and factors contributing to it over the centuries. However, one of the most significant events in this history is indeed the Babylonian conquest of Jerusalem and the subsequent exile of Jews to Babylon. This event took place in the 6th century BCE, during the reign of the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II. In 586 BCE, Nebuchadnezzar's army captured Jerusalem, destroyed the city and its temple, and took many of the Jews into captivity in Babylon. This event is known as the Babylonian captivity or the exile. During their exile in Babylon, the Jews were forced to live in a foreign land under the rule of their conquerors. This experience had a profound impact on Jewish culture and religion, as it led to the development of new religious practices, such as the synagogue, and the writing and preservation of sacred texts, such as the Torah. The Babylonian captivity lasted for several decades, until the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and allowed the Jews to return to their homeland and rebuild their temple. However, the destruction and exile had a lasting impact on Jewish history, and subsequent conquests and exiles would follow, including the Roman conquest of Jerusalem in 70 CE, and the subsequent diaspora of Jews throughout the world. In this video, we will tell you the Jews' captivity and Jerusalem destruction history with every event, king, and their history until Jews were allowed to enter in Jerusalem in Muslim rules during Second Caliph Umar. Nebuchadnezzar II was a king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, who reigned from 605 BC to 562 BC. He is one of the most famous and important figures in ancient Near Eastern history, and his reign is considered a high point in Babylonian civilization. Nebuchadnezzar II is known for his military campaigns, which expanded the Babylonian Empire to its greatest extent, including the conquest of Judah and the destruction of the First Temple in Jerusalem in 586 BC. He is also famous for his monumental building projects, including the construction of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. In addition to his military and architectural achievements, Nebuchadnezzar II was also known for his religious policies. He promoted the worship of the Babylonian god Marduk, and is said to have been responsible for the construction of the Great Temple of Marduk in Babylon. Cyrus the Great was a powerful king and one of the most successful conquerors in ancient history. He founded the Achaemenid Empire and ruled from 559 BC until his death in 530 BC. Cyrus was born into a noble family in Persia, and he began his career as a local Persian chieftain. He quickly rose through the ranks and eventually became king of Persia. He then embarked on a series of military campaigns that expanded the Persian Empire to include much of modern-day Iran, Iraq, and parts of Central Asia and the Caucasus. Cyrus was known for his military prowess and his ability to inspire loyalty among his troops. He was also known for his relatively benevolent rule and his policy of religious tolerance, which allowed the people he conquered to retain their own religious traditions and customs. Cyrus's legacy as a powerful and successful king is still celebrated today in modern Iran, where he is regarded as a national hero and a symbol of Persian pride and identity. King Titus was a Roman emperor who ruled from 79 to 81 CE. In 70 CE, he led the Roman army that conquered Jerusalem and destroyed the Second Temple. This event marked the end of the Jewish revolt against Roman rule and resulted in the captivity and exile of many Jews. During the First Jewish-Roman War, 66 to 73 CE, the Jews rebelled against Roman rule and gained control of Jerusalem. However, in 70 CE, Titus marched on Jerusalem with a large Roman army, besieged the city, and eventually captured it. The siege was brutal, with the Romans cutting off the city's food and water supplies, leading to widespread starvation and disease among the population. After breaching the city's walls, Titus and his army proceeded to destroy the Second Temple, which was the holiest site in Judaism. The temple was looted and burned, and thousands of Jews were killed or taken captive. The fall of Jerusalem and the destruction of the temple marked the end of the Jewish revolt and the beginning of the Jewish diaspora. Titus returned to Rome as a victorious general and was celebrated with a triumphal procession. The Arch of Titus, which still stands in Rome today, was built to commemorate his victory over the Jews and the destruction of the temple. Despite his military success, Titus was known for his mercy and compassion, and he was popular among the Roman people. During the rule of the second Caliph, Umar, r. 634 to 644, Jerusalem was conquered by the Muslim forces in 637 CE. After the city was captured, Umar negotiated a peace treaty with the Patriarch of Jerusalem, Sophronius, which allowed for the peaceful surrender of the city and guaranteed the safety of its inhabitants. It is believed that during Umar's rule, Muslim prayer was likely established on the Temple Mount, which is considered one of the holiest sites in Islam. According to tradition, Umar himself visited the site and cleared it of debris before ordering the construction of a mosque. In addition to establishing Muslim presence on the Temple Mount, Umar also allowed limited numbers of Jews to reside in the city after a ban that had lasted for several centuries. This decision was seen as a departure from the Roman and Byzantine policies of prohibiting Jews from living in Jerusalem. Umar's policies towards the city of Jerusalem and its inhabitants were seen as relatively tolerant and fair, which helped to ease tensions between the different religious communities in the city. As a result, Jerusalem remained under Muslim control for centuries and became an important center of Islamic culture and scholarship.